I'm scared. I want to take advantage of the shade on the van right now so I can finish drawing the outline. And then I have to prep for making the actual cut. And that scares the crap out of me. It'll be all right. I've already come this far, so I guess I shouldn't worry too much. But cutting a hole in the side of your van is just, this is a new experience. I haven't had to do that before. All right, let's get to it. It's so quiet outside, I don't know if I want to start cutting. I don't know how loud that's going to be. I need to get the jigsaw prepped. On the tutorials that I've seen on YouTube, everybody tapes around the window to prevent scratching and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to do that, at least not everywhere. I'm going to tape the bottom of the jigsaw. I know that there are some edges that I want to protect, but I don't know if I'm going to tape the entire opening. We'll see. In the meantime, I'm going to have my coffee and enjoy the morning. So I have my jigsaw prepped. I have adhesive foam that I've put onto the plate so that it can slide on the sheet metal without causing any damage or scratching. It gives a little bit of resistance, but it still slides easily, so I think that'll work pretty well instead of the painter's tape that I've seen. Speaking of painter's tape, I'm going to cover some of the raised edges so that I don't cause any damage. I'm going to also use this to tape the panel in place as I start to open it up so that it doesn't fall, and also so it doesn't vibrate. And I will make a penetration somewhere around here in the middle. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start this way. I'm going to go to an angle and then hit the line and then start going up. And then I will come back the other direction and go up. And then I'll make sure that this is all secure. And then I'll start up at the top on this side and just go that way. I think that's the plan. But I'm going to put some tape on these corners here, this one and the one on top, just to eliminate any possibility of scratching. You can see that I don't know what they were doing here before, but there's something already. The window, I wonder if they had something in here before, maybe a sign or something. The window will cover most of that, I think, but I don't want to add any scratches either. So since I'm going to cut that way, I'm going to make a hole about right here, and then I'll cut down at an angle so that I can hit that line. I've seen people talk about putting down tarps and things to catch the metal shavings. I think I'll probably just lay the cardboard down because I'm going to vacuum it right up after I'm finished. And, you know, once I get in here, I'll be vacuuming out the panel too. I'm going to leave the panel in place so there won't be anything falling down this way. There might be some gaps or something here, but I'll vacuum that stuff out. I'm a little scared. There's no going back now. How bad could it be, right? All right, now that I've made my first cut, I'm geared up and I'm gonna go back out and tackle this. There's a reason they show cutting these out in time lapse, and that's because it's a big pain in the ass. So when you speed it up, it looks like it was super easy. It's not. So I had a bit of a rough start getting the hang of operating against my normal method of working with my right hand, because you have to go around and up, and so I had a few little mishaps, lost a couple of blades. Once you get the hang of it, it's all right. So you can see, like right here, it was pretty rough as I was getting used to it, and then up here I was like, oh yeah. I taped it from the inside so that it wouldn't fall. So now, I used Gorilla Tape, so it's not going to fall off. So I'll go in and pull it down. There's some spots here that I'll have to trim up, but now that I can see them, it's going to be a lot easier. And I almost wonder, if it would be easier to do an inside cut and then go back and cut it again. I know that's cutting it twice, but the problem is that you've got the exterior sheet metal, but then there's the inside lip, and you have to avoid the lip. You want to hug that lip as close as you can, but you can't see it. So you can very easily cut into it or drag the blade on it and catch it and bend your blade. Don't know why I would know that. And I don't think that metal shears would work on this either because of that interior lip. And just to answer the question, trying to do this from the inside, not happening. You don't want to try that with a jigsaw from the inside. If you have a reciprocating, like a sawzall with a metal blade, you could probably do it, but not with a jigsaw. Don't even try. Well, there's my nemesis. We're taking a break because of the positioning of the sun. And yeah. I'm at the point where I'm just filing down the sheet metal for variations in the cut so that the frame will fit through. I'm real close. I'm close to putting it in, but oh man. All right, I'm going to make some adjustments here so that the frame will fit in. I have to grind down anything that's not along the lines. It's almost in. I'm real close, and there's a little bit of cloud cover, so I'm going to try to get some of this done. All right, I have the window in place. It kind of holds itself in with the frame. I have it taped in place to keep the gaps even. Looks like it's all straight. Now I need to go inside and crank the frame down, at least partially, just so that I don't have to worry about it falling out. So now I'm at the part that everybody said was horrible, and I agree. Getting these screws into the channel, it's a very tight fit, so it takes a lot of pressure to get these screws to go in. They tell you not to use power tools, but I may have to, at least to get them started, and then I can tighten down by hand. And so it's in. It's flush with the body. Gaps look okay. I have to clean this up still. I do need to do a couple of things. One, my screen frame got a little scratched up, so I'm going to cover that with some gloss black paint. Here's a little trick when you're removing stickers from glass. If you have flat glass, it is safe to use a razor blade, but even better is a plastic razor blade. I have some residue here from the sticker that's being stubborn, so I'm going to spray it and let it soak for a minute with Windex, and then I'm going to scrape it back off, and then I will clean it again. I have fingerprints to take care of anyway, but I just wanted to show you that little, there's actually a handle for it also, which I don't know where it is right now, but plastic razor blade. I couldn't have finished at a better time. As I was closing things up, it started raining. It's not going to rain very much. It's just sprinkling, but yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but I finished just in time, and they're big drops too. So I guess we may find out if this thing is watertight or not. But from the driver's seat, look at that. I can actually see where I'm going now. And here we are, the final product. So as I mentioned before, this is the C.R. Lawrence pressure fit window. There are other windows that require gluing them in like a windshield. This does not require that. This just pinches itself in with this frame and these screws. It does have a tip out window with a screen, and to open it you just turn this knob, and then to close it you just turn it the opposite direction until it stops. The screen does pop out. I don't know why you would, but you can, for cleaning I guess maybe. Overall it's a nice unit. I got the door all cleaned up. I cleaned up all of the adhesive from the junk that the previous owner had put on. And the visibility is outstanding from the driver's seat. It's everything that I was hoping. It was money well spent, so I'm glad that I did it, even as scary as it was. So what did I learn from all of this? The first thing that I learned is I'm glad that's the only window that I'm putting in. There is a mate for the opposite side that I could buy, but I decided not to do that, and I decided that early on, and so the interior is being designed with no windows in the back of the van at all. Even over the bed I'm not going to have windows. Most of the time in my other rigs I kept those windows closed and the shades down anyway, so there's not really any point in putting in windows. It's just an expense that I'm not going to use. So that said, am I happy with the window that I did put in? And absolutely. I needed it for multiple reasons. I needed the ability to open a window for some airflow, for instance, and then for visibility when I'm driving or turning or backing up. I'll have a camera at some point here pretty soon, but being able to see the side of the van when you're backing up or turning is definitely something that's required. Man, no matter how much you prepare and how much you plan and how much you look at it, nothing will prepare you for that first cut. If it's the first time you've done this. If you've done one of these, then doing more would be much, much easier because you know what to expect. This was the first time that I've put one in, and I didn't really know what to expect in practice. You know, in theory, it seems pretty simple. In reality, the sheet metal is thicker than what you would anticipate, and cutting it, it's not like cutting a sheet of paper. It really is challenging and time consuming and tiring. It's hard work. Like I said before, there's a reason that people show this in time-lapse mode, because it makes it look like it goes real easy, and it is not real easy. If you're not comfortable doing this kind of work, or if you've never done it before, you probably shouldn't try it. I would advise finding somebody that can do it for you. I looked for someone to do it, and I couldn't find somebody readily, so I decided I would just move forward and do it myself. I'm glad that it's in. I would not do it again on the other side. I will not, and I would not put in that second window. And I'm glad, because originally I had thought about doing both, and then I changed my mind, and I'm glad that I did. And then just to fill in some information, the window itself is a C.R. Lawrence 625, which is the Mercedes window on the slider door with the tip-out window. I think they have another one that's just a solid pane of glass, so if you end up buying one of these, make sure you get the right one. And then obviously, because you're working with metal and you're cutting metal and filing metal and doing whatever else you're doing with it, make sure that you wear safety protection, goggles, respirator, or some sort of filter so that you don't breathe in any of that metal dust. I did find shavings on my arms after I did my filing and stuff. I didn't want this to be a tutorial because, once again, the way that I do it may or may not be the right way. And since this was the first time I'd actually done one, I didn't want to teach people how to do it and then find out that even I did it wrong. So it's in and it's working, and it got tested because it rained yesterday. Surprise, surprise. And everything seems to be okay. So I don't know what's next. I'm going to take a break. I've done a lot in just a few days. I'm going to do some easy things like painting some of these interior trim panels that are going to be exposed, and just cleaning. You'll notice how clean the van is now. And then, the end of November is going to be here before we know it. And then I'll be on my way up to pick up the interior. So with that, I hope everybody's having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.